Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. A few hours ago we broke out on the 4-hour. This is not a small breakout. In fact, this resistance is there since the 15th of July, which is awesome. But we must continue going higher urgently and take the liquidation levels right above us. We cannot afford to come back inside this triangle. I want to talk about this and the potential implications if that happened. Of course, if we retest this trend line, we will discuss about the potential upside, and at the end of the video, I'll give you an overview of all the bullish signals that I have captured in the past days as a quick summary. And in case we were to fake out here and produce a liquidity grab and go to lower levels, I'm also gonna share the levels I'm buying. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. And if you feel like supporting the channel, watch this video until the very end and do not go anywhere without leaving a comment down below. That sends a strong signal to the YouTube algorithm that this content is worth watching by more people. Thanks so much for that. So let's start with the daily. Earlier in August, we were having this breakout of layer 1 in here at an RSI of 34. We have an impulsive move around the 8th of August. We saw some resistance, which we broke around the 12th. And here is where things started to look quite confusing, starting with the fact that we lost the dotted yellow trendline support, and we have to move it to this area in here where we found the next pivot low. Right after that, we struggled to put a new high, and once again we broke down below the trend line. And last night, we closed below the trend line as resistance, just to see the RSI break out above that resistance and still heading to our final target of the top of the range. Earlier this month, once we had this breakout, we were looking for that target. We were just exiting from the crash at 49K. I remember setting the RSI target, and at that point it was above this trend line, but since then the target has been moving down, even lower than the trend line, and eventually making it into an RSI of 53. Since it took so long to get there, we have now approached the target no more than $300 away. There's been a small rejection now from the dotted white line that has provided support in here and in here, and it has been resistance mid-August as well. So just from the point of view of the price action, this looks like a rejection from this level. And here's the thing, at this point in time where we are putting this high in here right below the resistance at RSI 53 is where we can make a distinction between this whole move in here turning into a dead cat bounce, because this area in here easily be seen as a liquidity grab. Let's push the price slightly higher than usual, let's close there, and then let's dump. That is one option, but it could also be the area where we finally break above this resistance. And since around March, we haven't been at very high levels of RSI, but as you can see, we managed to put a higher high on the RSI in this area, and we put a double bottom on the daily RSI. So it shouldn't surprise you if we ended up breaking out from here and finally start putting new highs. But it also shouldn't surprise you at this area of the crossroad if this ended up confirming to be such dead cat bounce. So let's go one time frame down. Let's look at the 4-hour. You can tell that the 4-hour, throughout the full month of August, we've been having massive trouble with the CPR pivots. Earlier in the month, we lost it massively. We went to the first area of support and we got very close to the second level of support. And since then, we went straight to challenge the pivots. We only challenged the mid pivot once in the month. And after that, we've been battling with the lower pivot at 61.7. But here's the thing, when we look at the RSI 4-hour, with this formation that we've been tracking now for a couple of days, we can see that we started putting higher lows and we finally have broken out above the resistance that is keeping us below it since mid-July. So in my opinion, this breakout, it is significant. And right now we are in the process of retesting the breakout. On the price, it's very difficult to see because technically the price has been going sideways for around 2 weeks. But the RSI shows that we are within a squeeze and we just exit the squeeze. This brown line in here represents the top of the triangle in the RSI. And you can see that we broke above it for the first time in many days, and now we are retesting it from above. So what's next? Well, we need to break above the CPR levels. There's no way around it. If we were to fake out here and re-enter inside the triangle, it's definitely the recipe to turn the daily into that dead cat bounce that we are talking about, and then looking into all the areas that I've been sharing I'm willing to buy if we were to collapse, starting with 57.7, the 54, and then all this area from 48 to 46. If we were to do that, I'm ready. But if we challenge the pivots, then definitely we're gonna go for the next area of liquidation at the 62.8 to 63 and the 67K as well. This week, there's no more CME gap. We took it all. It was very narrow, just at 2%, but it was obvious here in the price that we were going to at least feel it. The withdrawals continue. We're at 115, getting very close to my third checkbox for big accumulation from the big boys. On the megaphone pattern, we are for the third week challenging the bull market support band, this time as a resistance. What do we need to do? Well, precisely what we have already done in the past. Right after we dump below the bull market support band, we test it and we close right below the bull market support band, and the week after, we broke above it. So hopefully this week, either we break straight above it or next week we break above it. We are running out of time, guys, and we cannot push this line further away in this direction. We must eventually get out of this area as we approach the end of the summer. Too many rejections below the bull market support band, and we could spell the perfect recipe to go once again at the bottom of the megaphone, and maybe why not going lower if we continue playing with this fire. Yes, there are plenty of bullish things, and in the rest of the video I'm going to show you how many buy signals we have been accumulating in the past days. Some of them I already presented them, but let's do a very quick update. We have the bullish divergence here on the MACD daily. We have confirmed a bullish cross as well. The two green vertical lines show the two past times we had that same signal. The dollar index is this week breaking down. This candle is in progress, so let's wait to see how we close the week. If we were to close the week on the RSI weekly of the dollar like that, with the price confirming it, this is what we need to have a huge leg up in this rally, like we did in 2021. And the indexes are already having an amazing party, creating fake outs to the downside, punishing all the shorts, although we still don't have a higher high on the Nasdaq, neither on the S&P, but the S&P is actually getting very close to put a new all-time high. We have the hash ribbons, buy, that everybody got disappointed, but sometimes, as I told you, can have some drawdown before it actually performs. And let's cover the weekly as well. You can see that the past week we closed slightly higher, confirming that this is a pivot. As we were expecting, we are approaching the trend line of resistance, although we need to update and place it like this, not touching that, but touching the next one. And as we are expecting as well to have a bullish cross, we put this way before, and we are getting close to another bullish cross on the stochastic RSI, which is great. And as everything is going on, we still are in the fear. A couple of days ago, we have a VIX SPY buy signal number 1, trigger at 58.3, and so far we have done over 5%. The last time we had the signal was around here, and it gave over 180% performance. If we go back in time, the next one gave 32%, and then we have some B1s that trigger in the bear market in here. This one that had a little 10% pump right after, but the second one was terrible. In the previous bull market, we had ones in the middle of May, and that brought 85% profit. This indicator is the only one I have featured by TradingView. Search for it by the TTP VIX SPY. It's open source and it's free. We do need to get to that 63,000 liquidation level urgently because we already have paved the way for a move down to below 60 once again. We don't want to be constantly getting rejected, and even less, we don't want it now anymore. We can afford to get rejected in here and in here, but after this breakout, getting a rejection there, you have the perfect recipe to call this the final nail in the coffin for that downside. It's very dangerous that we actually don't go and grab that 63K and we don't start going into the 65K. This is a squeeze, and a breakout after a squeeze, re-entering the range, is a failed attempt. You can also see the liquidation levels on CoinGlass for free. They're at 62.1 and 63.4. And I got quite excited yesterday when I noticed that the resistance at almost 65K got pulled out. You can see that it went from 25 million and right now is slightly above 12 million. So it's less than half left, guys. You could argue that now it came closer to the price at 62, but it's been already 21 million. Now it's 24 million, right above 61.9. So I wouldn't say that our immediate resistance has increased as much as the top resistance has reduced. And that's why I call it something bullish. You can even see in here that this level at 61.5 has been pulled out right before the price went straight there. The order book remains pretty flat and the orders at 47 to 46K are still there. This means that we cannot forget of the chance of getting to that level yet. There is liquidity there, there is appetite to buy that level. I'm also keeping my eyes ready for that potential downside. It's not guaranteed, but I'm suspicious even if we are covered with buy signals. Since the last buy signals that we saw from High Block Capital in here that I'm monitoring, one of them coming from the funding rate and the other one coming from the longs and shorts from Binance, we have been going sideways, so there's still no profits. But my signals from leverage squeeze have managed to make a top of 16%, and at the moment they are sitting and enjoying almost 14% in profit. The signals from the SOPR oscillator on Bitcoin so far are 14% up, almost 19 made in the highest at the highest time, right now at 12%. And on lithium, we see a maximum of 12, but right now we are at 17% up. Not bad at all. Guys, I'm hosting a position airdrop on Bybit. You trade only with $100 and they give you additional $500 to trade on the coins listed in this page. Make sure that you click the top link in my description to activate it and to find the instructions. In the description as well, you're going to be able to find a referral link to sign up for Bybit. Using that link unlocks up to 30,000 in rewards. And if you join my Discord server with that Bybit account, you can claim 70% discount on any of the Trading Parrot subscriptions. If you already have a Bybit account, don't worry because I left you instructions there as well on how to transfer it to my referral. Have a look at my website, particularly the gallery of indicators and the perks included, the signals per selection. And speaking about per selection, we now support this symbol, which allows you to automatically select pairs that are not part of a specific category. For example, you may want to trade the most volatile tokens, but excluding meme coins. Let's say your strategy is not good for meme coins. On 3 commas, Weak Hunter, Ganium, or Alt Ready, you can use a statement like this to say, I want to trade any tokens except if they are part of meme coins or DeFi, and I want you to select the top 25 coins that have the highest daily percentage change against BTC. Join my Discord server if you want to learn more about this. If you have new ideas, let us know as well. We are pretty quick adding new features to per selection. See you on the next one. Bye bye.